You may have heard the saying, the new is in the old concealed, and the old is in the new revealed. This statement is attributed to St. Augustine and helps us understand the relationship between the Old and New Testaments. And while Augustine said the new was in the old concealed, the old is in the new revealed, as we head into the Christmas season, I want to introduce you to this little spin that I've put on Augustine's quote. It goes like this. The Old Testament is Jesus concealed. The New Testament is God revealed. Say it with me. The Old Testament is Jesus concealed. The New Testament is God revealed. Over the next 4 weeks, as we celebrate Advent, which marks the 4 Sundays before Christmas Eve, we will look towards celebration and commemoration for the birth of Jesus. Over these 4 weeks, each Sunday of our journey has a specific theme. The first theme of Advent is hope, so let's dive right in. One of the places we see the hope of Jesus concealed in the Old Testament is Micah chapter 5, verses 2 through 5a. It reads like this, "But you, O Bethlehem Ephrathah, are only a small village among all the people of Judah. Yet a ruler of Israel, whose origins are in the distant past, will come from you on my behalf. The people of Israel will be abandoned to their enemies until the woman in labor gives birth. Then, at last, his fellow countrymen will return from exile to their own land, and he will stand to lead his flock with the Lord's strength in the majesty of the name of the Lord his God. Then his people will live there undisturbed, for he will be highly honored around the world, and he will be the source of peace." Now, before we jump into this, let me give us some background. The nation of Israel were God's chosen people. From the nation of Israel, there were 12 tribes or clans, one of them being Judah. Judah was also a country. They were in the southern part of Israel after they had a civil war and split. Don't lose me now. Bethlehem was a town in Judah, and Judah came from the nation of Israel. Y'all with me? All right, very good. So from Bethlehem, from long ways past, Micah says, came the ancestors of Jesus. There was 700 years from the time of Micah to the time that Jesus was born, and Mary birthed the one who would stand in the strength and majesty of our God, ultimately bringing people to hope. Well, that begs the question, if the Old Testament is Jesus concealed, then what is the strength and majesty of God? I'm so glad you asked. If we turn over to the New Testament, Romans 15:13 reveals the strength and majesty of God, his character to us in that one verse. Paul writes this in Romans, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that you may abound in hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." The God of hope has the strength and might to fill us with joy and peace. Now, let's look at the original language of Romans 15 right there, because I think it gives us insight of what we're talking about when we talk about the might and the strength of God. The Greek word for hope in this passage is more than wishful thinking. It's more than like, oh, I hope I get some ice cream. Oh, I hope I get a Christmas bonus. Oh, I hope whatever you're thinking about. It's more than that. This hope is more like the words transformative expectation. It's more than wishful thinking. It's more than I really want that. It is an expectation that transforms or changes the way we operate in the world. It's expecting something that alters how you move forward. So Romans 15:13 actually reads more like this. May the God of transformative expectation fill us with all joy and peace in believing, so that we may abound in that transformative expectation by the power of the Holy Spirit. In the 700 years between the writing of Micah and Jesus' birth, the children of Israel were able to have hope that God would use the tiniest thing to make the biggest impact, that God is sending one with strength and majesty, and that one he is sending will be one of peace. As you go about this week and read through the other days of devotionals, we want you to remember that one, you can have hope. You can have transformation of expectation because God doesn't need something big to do something grand. Number two, you can have hope. You can transform your expectation because our belief is in the strength and the majesty of Jesus Christ. And number three, you can have hope that transforms your expectation because Jesus' strength fills us with joy and peace. The Old Testament is the hope in Jesus concealed, and the New Testament is God's might revealed. We'll see you next week.